Hello Game of Thrones freaks and geeks, and welcome to this special episode of The Word from Westeros, exclusively produced for allgeektome.net. I am Kait Calabro, and this is my show. We are now officially 2 months away from the return of Game of Thrones in April. So we decided that, let's try to share everything that the world knows about the 6th season of Game of Thrones without this video being like hours long. I'm not going to talk about Jon Snow. Well, I might talk about Jon Snow. I can't make any promises. In this episode, I have covered a lot of Jon Snow, both on my past 2 episodes of The Word from Westeros, as well as countless posts on allgeektome.net. So if you want to know what my thoughts are on Jon Snow and what fans and the world is saying about Jon Snow, then you can head to allgeektome.net or watch the other 2 Word from Westeros. So here we go. Let's try to talk about season 6 in a timely fashion, because a lot's happened since the season 5 finale. Alright, so before I start talking about season 6 casting and rumors and the first set of stills and the teasers, I should just warn you that spoilers are going to be shared after this. So I mean, if you're watching the show, I'm pretty sure that you already know what happened in season 5 and have some clue of what's going to be happening in season 6. But you have been warned, there will be spoilers, so shut up. Anyway, so we learned that actor Ian McShane has been cast in an unknown role. We also know that flashbacks are most likely going to be happening. There was a rumor that a younger actor has been cast to play a young Ned Stark. Also, one of my favorite rumors, no surprise, is that the location for the Tower of Joy has been selected. The Tower of Joy is huge in the story of A Song in Fire and Ice, as well as in the Game of Thrones series, which is where Lyanna Stark was held captive by Rhaegar Targaryen, apparently, and that's where Ned finds her and she takes her final breaths. It also should be mentioned that a character was listed that didn't have a name but fit the description of a character that has been in A Song of Ice and Fire, that fits the description of Sir Arthur Dayne, who was supposed to be, was Rhaegar Targaryen's best friend, and was at the Tower of Joy when Ned Stark invaded and tried to rescue Lyanna. In addition to those characters being added, we're getting a new actor that will be playing the Third Eye Raven. What else is happening? There will be also a new Red Priestess. She's not replacing Melisandre, but she will be an additional Red Priestess because we need more of those. Set photos show that there might be some epic dragon fire battle between Daenerys' dragons and the Dothraki that have kind of now taken her captive. We'll also be seeing some familiar faces returning for the 6th season. The Greyjoys will be in the 6th season, as well as the Tullys. Catelyn Stark's brother, was it Edmund? Yeah. Ed. Catelyn's brother Ed will be coming back, as well as her uncle Blackfish. The last time we saw them was at the Red Wedding. So let's just hope that this does not mean that Lady Stoneheart is coming back, because I can't handle any more Catelyn Stark and all that kind of crap. So that about wraps it up for the rumors and casting kind of news. Really, quite recently, Game of Thrones and HBO has released a set of Game of Thrones season 6 stills. And though they didn't reveal a lot, there was some things that we did learn. Marcella Baratheon clearly is dead. Arya Stark is blind. The Greyjoys will be returning. We got our first look at the Greyjoys coming back. Some of the shocking things that people talked about, even though, I mean, come on, was that Theon and Sansa survived jumping off Winterfell. There's this whole big rumor going around online, especially right after the photos were released, that it looked like Sansa had a baby bump, was possibly pregnant by Ramsay. Those sites and people started debunking this theory because maybe she was just holding her hands in her jacket to keep warm. I don't know. I hope for the love of Sansa that she's not pregnant by Ramsay, because that would just be awful. Though I said I wasn't going to talk about Jon Snow, of course I'm going to talk about Jon Snow. There was no Jon Snow pictures in any of the stills. Not that anyone's surprised by that. Of course they're not gonna give us a Jon Snow still. That would just be, you know, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? I mean, come on. Anyway, so then after the stills were released, following that a couple days later, we got our first teaser for the 6th season of Game of Thrones, which, to briefly summarize, took place in the Wall of Faces within the House of Black, and they're showing the faces of fallen Game of Thrones characters with, you know, kind of iconic quotes. You know, we got to see Robb Stark and Ned Stark and Catelyn Stark and Joffrey Baratheon. And then all of a sudden they flash to the face of Jon Snow. So then you're like, oh my god, Jon Snow, he's dead, he really is dead, blah, blah, freaking out. And then, like, in the seconds, they start panning out and you start seeing Tyrion's face and Arya's face and Daenerys' face. So then you're like, what are they doing to us? So pretty much the only thing that the teaser really gave us was that this notion that all men must die, and we already knew that. So I mean, thanks a lot, teaser. So I mean, that's pretty much all we really know at this point about season 6 of Game of Thrones, considering that we don't have a book to go off of. Thank you, George R. R. Martin. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I have dreams of what's going to happen, but no one cares about them. But I'll probably share them with you at some point later on down the road. So yeah, that's about it for right now. But I mean, they could be releasing something as I'm talking. God only knows. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode of The Word from Westeros. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe to All Geek to Me TV on YouTube so you never miss another episode of this wonderful show again. And check out the other cool, great geeky content that we post up on the page. You can follow me on Twitter at Kait Calabro, so you can get up to the minute Game of Thrones information and news, as well as see what I do in my personal life on my free time besides sit in front of a camera and talk about Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones returns Sunday, April 24th on HBO, but I'm sure I will be back before then to chat with you guys about season 6 and what we think is going to happen. So until next time, remember, you either win or you die.